Hi, in this video, we're going to take a look at some basic HSRP configuration. It's actually quite simple. Okay, just a few steps, configuring the HSRP version, the virtual IP address, the priority, and the preempt command. The version is really if there are some advantages of using version 2. The default is typically version 1. One of those is authentication. But let's go ahead and get started. So here's a sample configuration. It's really quite simple. Okay, so here we have router R1, which is the active router. That's right here. And here we do the standby version 2. So the commands are for HSRP begin with standby. Okay, and then here is the HSRP group number is the 1 there, so standby 1. And this is the virtual IP address, 172.16.10.1. Router R1 is going to be our active router because we have raised the priority to 150. The default is 100. Otherwise, remember, HSRP uses the highest IP address. So we want to predetermine this. So we made R1 our active router. And in case router 2 boots up first, or if R1 loses the active router status for some reason and then comes back, we want it to be the active router, so we have the preempt option. Okay, on our standby router, router R2, same standby version 2, HSRP version 2. There's our virtual IP address that they both share. That's the virtual, can I write better than that? Virtual IP address. Okay. And that's all we've done on that one. We could have done, if there was a third or fourth router on there, we could have included the priority command like we did here. Just make sure it's between 100 and 150. Okay. Very easy configuration. That's all there is to it. Okay, as far as verification, all right, so let's take a look here. We have a router R1, and then let's also bring up router R2. Let's take a look at these. So we do show standby. Again, that standby is the means HSRP. Doesn't mean show standby router. Okay, and that can be kind of confusing, but standby just means HSRP. Okay, the state is, that's the active router as compared to router R2 that says it's in standby. They both agree on the virtual IP address. They both agree on the virtual MAC address. Okay. Here we've configured preemption. Doesn't give us the value, but we configured it. Here we did not. Okay. Here it says, who's the standby router? There, you know, they get, so it's meaning the HSRP standby router. It says it's not me, it's this router at this address. Down here at R2, it says I'm the standby router, which means I guess I'm not the local router. And by the way, I misspoke. Here's the priority right there, 150. Here's the priority here, 100, which is the default. All right. Very easy to configure, very easy to verify. Okay, we can do show standby brief. Here we did it on R1, and here we've done it on R2. And it just gives us some very basic information here. So the group number, what its state is, it's active. R2 is the standby. Here's the, yeah, so it says, who's the active? I am. Who's the active down here? Oh, somebody else. Who's the standby? Somebody else, because I'm the active. Who's the standby? Me. And we both agree on the virtual IP address, which is good, right? Need that. All right, not hard to configure. And this is very cool because that way, the whole idea of this, just so we're very clear on this, the whole idea of this is we have a active router here, standby here, and everybody is using this router here as their default gateway. Should anything happen to this router or this link, then this router will take over the active status, be the new active router, and all traffic will be forwarded to R2. Let me just kind of mention a couple of other features that maybe I'll do. I talked about in my CCNP, and we'll be doing CCNP videos on this. But let me just kind of talk about a few other things. What if this link goes down? Well, this router is still up, and it will still be the active router. There is a feature that you can configure in HSRP that is to tracking status. So R1 can track the status of this link. If it goes down, it can make itself the standby, which then this router here would be the active. Because even though this link here is up and this router is up, it does no good to be the default gateway if this link is down. So that's just one of several features, advanced features you can configure. And again, it's all pretty straightforward and very easy to configure. Okay, so that's kind of the basic HSRP. I hope that helped clarify a few things. Very useful in today's networks where you don't want to have single points of failure. You want to be able to have redundancy and have it fail over automatically.